Testing, testing. Good morning, good morning. My apologies for the late start today. Traffic was absolutely awful. For those of you who are from LA, you totally probably can relate to that one. It is a beautiful day here. At LAX. Sorry we had a little car alarm. I'm just finishing getting set up. I just wanted to go get this going live, just so you guys didn't think I forgot. How's everybody doing today? I hope everyone is doing as well as I am. I'm always happy to be here, hanging out with you all. Just getting my radar box app all set up so we know what's going on and what's coming and going. Getting my microphone plugged in. And of course, getting the chat open here real fast so I can say hello to you all. All right, hang on. Now I have the chat open so I can say hello. Miss Wolf's 13, Max, Matt A, hello, hello. Matt A, you are the first. TJS Aviation, hello. All right. Now let's get into the planes now that I'm all set up here. Let me readjust my tripod ball here. It's a little crooked. Okay. How's everybody doing today? Sarah Lancaster, hello from France. Hello, hello, Joe Adam. Yeah, Mikey and Jacob had an epic day yesterday at Amsterdam. A storm came through, and there was some amazing crosswind landings. You guys had some awesome stuff. I was watching it. That was pretty awesome. Very nice. I'm not sure if this will show up on camera this morning because I have a really close lens, but I have my new Euro Aviation TV hat. Very excited to be wearing that today. It's super comfortable and super stylish. Ooh, we've got a nice heavy coming here. Looks like this is a Delta A350. just a sec, I'll tell you guys where that's coming from. Let's see, what was that? That was Delta. It's flight 515 going to Atlanta on an A350-900. Mr. Phil 63, sorry to hear you are fighting a sinus infection. I had one of those last week and that was not fun by any means at all. Yes, I see the United 787 coming in for landing over there. It's a little hard with the landings here at Clutter's Park sometimes, because we do have all those cargo buildings in the way. Looks like we've got a double here. We have a Southwest takeoff and a United landing at the same time. How cool is that? 2 for 1. Chris has his hat sitting with him. I love it. It's actually super comfortable. This is a United 787-10. Looks like it's coming in from Newark, 2434 on a 787-10 Dreamliner. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind taking a transcontinental flight on a Dreamliner. That would be really nice instead of being crammed in on what most carriers do, which would be a 321 or a 737. Got a United 777-200 headed to Honolulu. Safe travels. Thank you, Matt A, for the comment. That was United 1158 on a 777-200. Looks like United is finally getting a gate. See, we have a couple things lining up here for takeoff. We have a flight to Phoenix, another flight to Honolulu, American Airlines on an Airbus 321, Dallas, Fort Worth. So it's a pretty active morning here. I have to say the lighting is absolutely beautiful today. It's like over here we have an A321 coming in from Minneapolis, Delta Flight 974. Good morning, sorry. Trying to keep up with the chats here. I am not going to try to pronounce that name because I'm terrible, and I'm going to feel terrible if I get it wrong, but hi, we're so happy to have you here with us on the stream. It's nice to see some Southwest planes landing on this side. As you can see, quite a busy morning here at LAX. And just past these cargo buildings, there's I think about 3 more lined up and ready to go. So a pretty active morning this morning. Next up, we have Delta Connection Flight 4137 headed to Phoenix. Landing over here on the south, we have JetBlue Flight 62986 coming in from Miami on an Airbus 321. Should be seeing that pop around from the cargo building momentarily. I sure can hear it. I can hear that reverse thrust. I love it. Matt A is sitting here in the comments helping me out by telling me what is coming and in line. I love it. You're hired. Let's see what we have in line here. Got a quick one on Embraer 175 just lined up. That's just heading on a short flight to San Diego, 4643. There is our JetBlue plane. And let's see, LAX to Tampa United is in line. Here's our United flight on Embraer 175 headed to San Diego. Probably a quick 20 to 30 minute flight there, very short. Definitely beats a 2+ hour drive, depending on traffic. As we all know, the traffic here in LA can be an absolute nightmare. Coming up on the north side, we're going to have an Air Premia Dreamliner coming in, Flight 101 from Seoul on a 7879 Dreamliner. It's, I think it's right there in the distance. There we go. It's breaking through that cloud layer. Air Premia actually took off on the south side the last couple of days, which was nice to see since it normally goes north. So maybe we'll get lucky today and we'll see it on the south side. Very, very beautiful morning today. Good morning, Helsinki Spotting. Good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in as always every week. We really appreciate it. Next for departure, we have United 279 on a 737 MAX 8 heading to Tampa, Florida. It is very clear, calm skies today. Yes, Mikey. And it looks like fourth in line for takeoff, we do have United 751 on that Dreamliner heading to Washington to IAD. So that one will be coming up soon. Here we have a Delta A320 flight 306 that came in from Austin, Texas. And taking off, we have JetBlue headed to JFK on an A321. Common Man, good morning, how are you? Welcome, thank you for joining us today. Looks like coming up next we have a United Flight 2609 on a 757 heading to Boston. Like these JetBlue passengers have a little bit of a wait this morning. Mario, good morning. How is everything in Berlin? How's the weather? Brian, good morning from OC. Very nice. Orange County is my old stomping grounds. Very nice area. That Southwest was Southwest Flight 1409 heading to El Paso, Texas on a 737-800. And now we have United 751 heading to Washington. It's a 7879 Dreamliner. Richard Brown, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us from London, United Kingdom. Very cool. I don't have anything landing here for a quick minute. It's a little quiet. I think soon we should be having a Western Global Airlines 747-400 flight 6265 landing in about 5 minutes here on the south side. Then coming up on the north, we just have a Southwest flight landing soon. And then we do have an Airbus A320 flight 1143 on Delta taking off for Houston shortly. I don't think we've seen Delta Airbus 220 on the stream yet. They haven't really put too many of them out here. Let's see, that should be starting its roll soon. It just got set up and ready to go. We'll stay on that for a minute because that's pretty cool. I think they're just waiting to get their clearance. Looks like we have a JSX plane here. It's a Embraer ERJ 145. Looks like it just came in from Burbank. Short hop over here. I'm guessing that one's headed to the private terminal where they usually unload planes like that. Looks like our Delta 1143 A220 is set up and ready to go and rolling down the runway. That plane is so quiet. Give me just a second here, everybody. I just want to make a quick Instagram post to let everybody know that we're live. How is everyone enjoying their morning so far? It's a nice morning over here at LAX. It's a beautiful day, so no complaints. I'm still tracking that Western Global airplane. It looks like their 747 is getting ready to make its U-turn, and we've got about 4 to 5 minutes left for that one. Here we have United 2039 headed to Chicago on a 737-800. There is our Air Premia flight from earlier. actually, how cool is this? We normally see the Airbus A330-200 for Hawaiian, but there's their new A321 Neo. I know they had to pull a couple of those from service while waiting for the fan blade parts to come in for the faulty fan blades. But it looks like that one's back in service. And you totally know an Airbus is in the picture when you can hear those whale sounds that they make. I think in March of next year, Hawaiian's going to have their Dreamliners enter service. And it's like 2 weeks after I fly on their A330, which no complaints there, but it would be pretty awesome to fly to Honolulu on a Dreamliner. Good morning, Allison. How are you? Thank you for joining us. Hello, hello. Coming up next, we have an Airbus 321 American Flight 2837 headed to Charlotte, North Carolina. To say that that Hawaiian Airlines livery is beautiful. We should have an Aero Union Airbus A300 lining up shortly here on the south side, flight 7005 headed to Guadalajara. You don't see very many Airbus 300s anymore. I think that one's going to be taking off on 25 right. It looks like they're crossing the entire runway to get to the further one. I think I missed something here in the chats about someone seeing things. Alright, Aero Union is lined up in their Airbus 300. It's flight 7005 headed to Guadalajara. That's going to be a cargo plane. I'm excited for this one because it's been a long time since I've seen an Airbus A300. I actually flew on one when I was a kid. Central America. American put a lot of their planes out there. I do see it lined up on the runway. I think they're just waiting for their takeoff clearance. We'll stay with that one for a minute. There's a couple planes that it got to cut in front of. Here we go, they're on their takeoff roll now. Very cool. That was Aero Union Cargo Flight 7005 headed to Guadalajara. And we just had American Airlines Flight 1969 on an A320-200 just landing here from Charlotte, North Carolina. And then we do have our Western Global 747-400 landing here on the south side, coming in, I believe, from Seoul, South Korea. Yes, that was Western Global 6265, and I believe this one is the X-Atlas Air livery. We'll see when it lands, but I believe it has the blue tail and it's just missing the yellow globe, and it's a plain white plane. See if these guys are going to go longer for us, or if they're going to go short onto taxiway Alpha. That is the X-Atlas Air livery Western Global 74400. Queen of the Skies, my favorite plane. Does anyone else watching have a personal favorite? I know, Mikey, you're a 777 fan. I'm a 747 fan. Sarah is a 747 fan as well. Like we've got a private jet flight. I'll go to that real quick. That one's going to Las Vegas this morning, Party City. It's amazing to me how wide the wingspan is on those. You know, it looks like we just had an American plane. I think it's an A3, or no, it's a 737. I believe this one just landed from Las Vegas. It did. It came in from Las Vegas on a 737-800. Wonder if anyone's actually awake if they're coming from Vegas this early in the morning. Maybe they partied all week and took a little nap on the plane. gonna go back and follow that 7.4, since it's always a beautiful sighting when we have a 747 here. Looks like Western Global is being sent to the cargo terminal that is in the middle of the airport right next to 25R. At the threshold, there's a cargo terminal there. So I guess that's why we got lucky with them going all the way to Taxiway Lima, Taxiway L. Very cool. Actually, it looks like while we were filming the 7.4, we're gonna have Qantas getting towed out of here. I am guessing that their A380 is going to be towed to their hangar in the remote area for their nighttime departure. Mr. Phil 63, there's the banana plane for you. Sorry for the glare, we've got a little bit of backlighting here this morning. The sun just came up from behind the hill. Yes, Mikey, I will find some approaches for you. Let's just get a quick look at this Qantas A380. I'm going to try to find some approaches on the north side. There's too many obstacles where I'm sitting today. There's that Hawaiian A321neo that we saw earlier. There haven't been too many approaches here this morning. There's been a lot of takeoffs. What do we have here? This is going to be Delta 997 coming in from Orlando, Florida on an A321-200. The unfortunate thing about streaming in this little area here is that there are a lot of cargo buildings and other things that are in the way, so I apologize for that. Coming up next on the north side, we have Alaska Airlines 1102 on their brand new special livery that was just unveiled yesterday. It's the Disney Toontown livery. I can see that one over there in the distance. Hopefully when it comes in, we'll get a nice view. I have been anxiously awaiting this one. This one's coming in from Seattle this morning. let's try to catch that one as it comes across here, because it's a super cool livery. You can Google it. Hopefully that one's going to come around this side. Very, very neat. That one's the Disney Toontown livery. Next approach, we're going to have Flair Airlines Flight 1888 coming in from Vancouver on a 737 MAX 8 on the north. That one is coming up on final. And then over here on the south side, we're going to have a JetBlue Flight 1373 coming in from Newark. And actually, we just had a cool JetBlue livery land here from Boston on the new JetBlue minted 2023 livery. It's an A320-200, my personal favorite JetBlue livery. I think this is a beautiful, beautiful livery. JetBlue is finally blue is the joke I made when this one was unveiled. What do you guys think of this one? I think this is a very stunning livery. It's probably one of my favorites for an airline livery. E-Man506, what's going on? Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Thank you so much. Max says he likes the other one more. I think he is referring to the Disney Toontown one that just landed a minute ago. Here's our Flair Airlines flight coming in on the north side from Vancouver. This one also has a pretty fun livery. Speaking of, looks like it did come around on this side and they're taxiing fast. Stay with this one for a minute for you guys, since this one's brand new. It's only been out for like 2 days. That is really, really cool. I love that plane. Hopefully we see more of that here at LAX, as this one is very cool. Very striking, ornate livery. I hope everyone's enjoying the stream this morning. If you are, we would super appreciate it if you wouldn't mind giving us a thumbs up, hitting the like button. Means a lot to us. It lets us know that you all are enjoying it. And if you're new to the channel, I'm your host Ben here on Euro Aviation TV. I am their LAX partner for Mikey and Jacob, who are based in Amsterdam. And if you are new to the channel, thank you so much for tuning in with us today as well. We really appreciate the support. Okay, I'm gonna come off this one. See what else we've got going on here. Joe Crammond, good afternoon. Thank you so much for tuning in from the UK. Yeah, that Alaska Airlines special livery was awesome. Marlene, I agree with you as well. And that was another special livery there. That was JetBlue Flight 2532 headed to Salt Lake City, and that was the NYPD special livery. I love all these airlines have been just killing it with the special liveries here. It's been really, really cool to see those. I'm gonna have China Airlines Cargo 5161 on a 777 freighter headed to Taipei. Looks like we've got another banana plane here. I apologize, the approaches have been very, very slow. Nothing is lined up at the moment, so looks like we're just gonna have some departures here for a little while. Normally LAX is super busy, but I think we had a little bit of a rush this morning, and it's gotten a tiny bit quiet. Yeah, not too much taking off or landing at the moment. Got a little lineup here of planes taxiing to go take off. Spirit and American had to come off the taxiway and go to their gates before these two planes could clear. I think the next flight we're going to see is an Embraer E175LR, which will be Delta Flight 3766 headed to Tucson. Looks like the Bradley gates are a little empty this morning too. We should be getting some international arrivals within the hour. I know we always get the Korean and the Aviation 380s. I think those are about an hour out. We'll definitely see those this morning. Those are always exciting. We had our beautiful Western Global 747 cargo plane land here today, so it's been a pretty busy, fun morning. Delta SkyWest Delta connection is headed down to the runway, so we'll get that one next. Yeah, Max, the 767 is really cool. I grew up flying on those. Hey, Logical Snowflake, good morning. That's my friend on Instagram. She likes to come plane spot up here sometimes. She's the one who actually tipped me off this morning that the Disney Toontown plane was coming in. And she got some pretty cool night shots of it. And just wanted to give her an awesome shout out for crossing 200 on Instagram. Big accomplishment there. I know how hard it can be to build an audience there. So congrats to her for that. Everyone go show Logical Snowflake some love on her Instagram. Yes, Mikey, thank you so much. If everyone could hit that like button if you're enjoying what you're watching, that would be awesome. That Alaska flight was Alaska 307, operated by SkyWest, headed to Boise. Boise, Idaho is very pretty, especially this time of year. Lined up on the runway, we have Delta Connection, operated by SkyWest, on an E175 LR, headed to Tucson, Arizona. That's just a short, probably 1 hour flight over to Tucson, Arizona. Very nice. Next up, we have Spirit Airlines. We're going to have a banana takeoff, flight 203 to Charlotte, North Carolina on an A321-200. I love videoing those Spirit planes because the yellow just pops so much on camera. And I am checking for approaches. It is a little quiet right now. Nothing's lined up for a little bit, so I apologize. Nice and tight in on that Spirit for you guys. Let's see, we had a Delta plane backing up here. That is going to be Delta Flight 873 on an A350, and it does say not available for where it's headed. So as soon as that updates, I'll update you guys on that. I'm not sure why it's saying not available. American Airlines Flight 33 from JFK on an A321-200 just landed. There we go. And we do have Delta Flight 520 landing here on a 767-300ER coming in from JFK. We'll be seeing that one swing around here in just a minute. I love that Delta still flies some wide bodies cross country. It's a rare occurrence these days. That was a Legion Air going to Indianapolis, Indiana, flight 4617 on an A320. Let's see, and next for takeoff, which is on its roll, we're going to have Southwest 2380 going to Austin, Texas on a 737-800. Where'd they go? Here they are. Like we just had American 1772 from Dallas Fort Worth land here, coming in from Dallas on an A321. And coming in for landing over here we have American Airlines flight 1160 coming in from Phoenix on a 737-800. Ian Cathay Spotter, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome. How are you doing this morning? Phil Tovey, good afternoon. From Warwickshire, UK. Very cool. I hope everything is well. Thank you all for joining us. let's get back on this. Let's see if they have updated the information of where this Delta A350 is going. I am guessing, if I had to guess, that this one might be going to Haneda, to Tokyo. But it's not telling me the information. Interesting. Next up, we're going to have Volaris Flight 4915 on an A320 headed to Guadalajara. Yes, Asiana 202 is on downwind coming in from Seoul. We will be seeing that one shortly. I can see it on the map. They are just getting downwind, actually. Flight 202 on an A380-800. They're just flying over Santa Monica, so they should be about 5 to 7 minutes out. We'll definitely make sure to get that one for you guys. Here's our Volaris flight headed to Guadalajara on an A320. Guys, see that for one sec? There's our Asiana A380 downwind flying over Culver City. Probably about 5 to 6 minutes out, so we'll definitely make sure to catch that one for you guys. We don't want to miss an A380 here. And that should be followed by the Korean Air A380 shortly thereafter, so we'll make sure we catch them both. Delta 757, looks like the 300 variant. I'll have to double check. That is a Delta 757-300 flight 898 coming from Atlanta, Georgia. Bogdan DDB Brazov, hello from Romania. Very cool. Logical Snowflake is updating me here. It looks like, yes, the Delta, it did finally update its 873 going to Atlanta. I believe that one came in from Atlanta this morning as well. So I know, I did say maybe it was going to Haneda, but they usually fly the A330neo there. That one should be taking off shortly. Oh, you got to see a couple go-arounds. Very cool. It's been a little while since we've seen a go-around at LAX, which I guess is a good thing. Next up, we have United Flight 2373 on a Boeing 737 MAX 9 headed to Kailua Kona, Hawaii. Sounds really nice right now, a little Hawaiian vacation. it looks like our Aviation A380 is just crossing over downtown LA, and they should be making their U-turn soon. Then they'll be on final. We have a DHL 767-300ER taking off or landing from Phoenix. I'm not sure if we'll be able to see it. Briefly. Ooh, we have an American special livery. Sorry about that quick change there, a little fancy camera work. Wanted to make sure to catch the American Airlines special livery we had taking off there. That was the stand up to cancer livery headed to Orlando on an A321. Yes, the A350 is going to Atlanta, Georgia. It did just update. Finally, it did say NA for a second there. I don't know why. But yeah, Delta is next in line for departure behind this American Airlines plane. Yep, the A380 is a couple minutes out. It did just make its U-turn over downtown LA, and it should be on short and final very soon. I'm definitely not going to miss that one. We never want to miss an A380 landing or departure here. And it looks like our Korean Air A380 is flying over Santa Monica. They are downwind coming in from Seoul as well, flight 17. That one will be landing just behind it. I am keeping my eyes peeled on the radar box map to make sure we do not miss either one of those. I appreciate all of you in the comments. Please keep that going with telling me what's coming when, because sometimes I do miss something here and there, so I do really appreciate it. It's awesome. I love the interaction. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Looks like Delta has set up and has takeoff clearance and is rolling. This is going to be Delta A350 900 flight 873 headed to Atlanta, Georgia. As soon as we film this one, our A380 did just break through the smog layer, so I'll make sure to focus in on that. There is the Aviation A380 off in the distance. It's about a minute to minute and a half out, landing on the north side. Danny, that one actually updated and it went to Atlanta, Georgia. I'm going to stay with this A380 for you all, so we make sure we catch every second of it. And the Aviation A380 is flying over downtown LA and is going to be turning to go on short and final soon. But for now, let's just enjoy this one. Mikey, I'm not sure. Did the Elgato logo stop blinking? I know sometimes if it gets too hot, it blinks and shorts out temporarily. I just unplugged it and replugged it to see if that fixed it. We are 2 likes away from 100 likes. If you guys could kindly hit the like button for us, that would be awesome. It lets us know that you are enjoying the content and that you want to see more in the future. Our Korean A380 has finished its U-turn and is about a minute and a half out here. It will be landing on the north side as well. We'll make sure to follow that one as it comes in. Right in front of us we have a American Airlines 321-200 coming in from Washington here. As soon as that A380 is visible, I will make sure to focus in on that. They are not far away, they're over Inglewood. There we go. There's our Korean Airways A380, also coming in from Seoul, South Korea.
I'm a big fan, and I'm a member as well.
Oh, cool!
Yeah.
Of Euro Aviation TV.
Of airline videos and.
Oh, of airline video. Yeah. Me too, actually. Yeah. I'm a fan of his.
Oh, I thought you were.
No, I'm not. I'm with these guys.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they're in Amsterdam, and then I'm their LAX
way.
partner.
That is so cool.
Yeah. No, but I'm a huge Kevin fan.
Yeah, me too.
Focusing on the pole. Come on, autofocus. There we go. Should be coming. There we go. Get that nose down. And then off in the distance, our Asiana A380 that just landed a few minutes in front of the Korean plane is coming around. A lot of traffic with catering trucks and luggage trucks here today too. I'm sure you all can see how many trucks are on the taxiways and roads of LAX here. I always wanted to know what all these trucks and other things are doing, where they're going. It's like LAX is like a busy city. It's like LA. It's like a million things going on. On this A380. Our Korean Airways A380 should be coming around the corner soon as well, so we can get nice and close on that. Since they're no longer taking off and landing here on the south side, this is the best we can do. Still pretty awesome. Thank you, Phil. If you guys watching, if you are liking what you're watching, if you could please hit that like button for us, that would be super cool. It's a way to show us some support and let us know that you're enjoying it. That would be super awesome. We'd be very grateful. Looks like they're bringing that Asiana plane in on a slow taxi. That is such a magnificent plane. Anytime an A380 comes in, it's just phenomenal. And then over here, coming around the corner, our Korean Airways plane that landed just behind Asiana is coming in to taxi to the Tom Bradley gates. Super cool that here at LAX we get so many A380s. We have the Korean, the Asiana, Lufthansa just came back, Qantas, Emirates. I think we have 5, or I may be missing one, but I think it's 5. Especially love when we get them back to back like this in the morning. U.S. Air Force KC-135 flying over. I'll have to see if I can see it. Hang on just a second. I am not seeing the KC-135. Right now the sky is so bright, every time I look up at it, it's burning my eyes. Really quickly, we had the Lynx Air 737 MAX and the ex-Norwegian Airlines plane landing here on the south. I believe that one came in from Toronto. Yes, that one is flight 9638 from Toronto, Canada. And just behind it, we have a Dreamliner, Aero Mexico, that came in from Mexico City. Missed a couple of approaches due to the A380. Who doesn't love seeing an A380 in the morning here? On that A380 for you guys so we can enjoy it for as long as possible. I'm going to try to talk much louder. Hopefully we don't have any audio issues. It sounds like one of you is letting me know that my voice is low, so I apologize. This mic is very sensitive and it seems to pick up everything around me, so sometimes I have to get close and yell, so I apologize. Let me know if that's any better. Looks like just behind our Aero Mexico plane we have a United 757-300 that just came in from Chicago, flight 2001. One of my favorite airplanes, 757. I especially love the 300, the pencil variant. Looks like most of you say the sound is fine on your side. That's good to know. I am going to try to talk a little bit louder because I know this microphone is a little sensitive and picks up the traffic noise and the planes and everything else around me. And again, this is United Flight 2001 coming in from Chicago on a 757-300. I am sorry to hear that the sound is low in Germany. I wonder why. I I am showing that all the audio levels on the camera and the stream are okay, and it seems like most people think it's okay, so I apologize if you can't hear me. I'll have to figure that one out. Very cool. Our Aeromexico Dreamliner crossed right in front of our A380. Just shows the scale of the A380, that even with another big plane passing it, it is still has a huge presence. Looks like in about 5 to 7 minutes we're going to have Cathay Pacific Flight 884 on a 777-300ER coming in from Hong Kong. They are downwind at the moment. I think we can see that one. There that one is. That's our Cathay Pacific flight. Should be landing in about 5 to 6 minutes. That will be making a north side landing, so we'll stay with it as long as we can. We'll get a much better close-up of that one when it lands. And it looks like our Bradley International Terminal is finally starting to fill up. Coming up next here on the south side, we have American Flight 127 coming in on a 787-8 Dreamliner. Should be landing in the next minute or two. This one is United Airlines coming in from Baltimore on a 737 MAX 9, flight 251. Good morning, Joshua Leclerc. How are you? Thanks for joining us here this morning. We appreciate it. There's our United 73 MAX 9 coming in from Baltimore. Thank everybody so much for tuning in and sticking with us this morning as we bring you all the live action here at LAX. If you're enjoying it, if you would please hit that like button, that would be super awesome, and show us some love. Let us know you're enjoying what you're watching. We would really appreciate it and be super grateful. And coming up next, we have our American Airlines Dreamliner Flight 127 coming in from Dallas-Fort Worth on a 787-8, which is the smallest variant. We'll catch up with that one in a second when it punches through the cargo buildings here. Dreamliners are such beautiful planes. The wing design is probably my favorite thing on a Dreamliner. How it rakes upwards, I think it is a stunning looking aircraft. Should be coming past this cargo building shortly. Danny, good morning. Greetings from Belgium. Very cool. Thank you for joining us here at LAX. Thank you so much. We appreciate the views. Appreciate that you enjoy it enough to join. And over here, we've got another Hawaiian plane this morning. I think this is Hawaiian Flight 3. Give me just a second. Doesn't want to let me click on the flights. No, that is incorrect. That is Hawaiian Flight 89. That will be headed to Honolulu on an A330-200. It's behind that Dreamliner there. This is going to be awesome because Hawaiian's been taking off north most of the time, so we are going to get a south side departure, which is very exciting. We don't see those at all. And while we're waiting for that, there's our Cathay Pacific 777, I believe coming in from Hong Kong. That's Cathay Pacific Flight 884 on a 777-300ER coming in from Hong Kong. Like we have a very cool thing happening. We have two Dreamliners, two American Airlines Dreamliners here, right in front of us. This one is American Flight 2554 from Miami, and the one that was over here just a second ago came in from Dallas Fort Worth. Two 787-8s right next to each other from the same airline. How cool. up, we have American Flight 307 headed to JFK. Then we'll have Delta 1857 to Puerto Vallarta. We'll have Delta Flight 480 to Honolulu, and followed by Hawaiian to Honolulu as well. Looks like there's a lot of 10 a.m. Hawaii traffic today. Quite a few planes waiting for takeoff this morning, which is good. I'm excited to see that Hawaiian A330. We never get to see those. It's very rare that we see them on the south side, at least. Never want to miss a 757 takeoff. That was actually not a 757. I apologize. That was an A320-1200 going to Salt Lake City, 1434 Delta. That did have some pretty cool wing flex on there. That was Volaris Flight 4923 on an A320 to Zacatecas, I think is how you say that. If I got it wrong, let me know in the comments. Roast me and light me up in the comments. I think we have a Bombardier Global 6000 coming down the runway, and it's giving me no information to where it's going to. Guess the owner does not want anyone to know. Welcome, thank you so much for joining us. We've got American Flight 307 on an A320-200 headed to JFK in New York. And up next we have Delta Flight 1587 on a 737-800 headed to Puerto Vallarta. And this Alaska Airlines plane that just landed here came in from Las Vegas on Flight 703. Our Delta flight to Puerto Vallarta. there is our Cathay Pacific 777-300ER that came in from Hong Kong about 5 minutes ago that we caught the landing on. I am also a big 777 fan. And coming down the runway next, we have Delta Flight 480 going to Honolulu on a 767-300ER. Very nice. I actually will be headed to Honolulu myself in February. And right behind it, also taking off to Honolulu, is Hawaiian Flight 89 on an A330-200. That one is lined up and ready to go. And then soon behind that, after that takeoff, we do have a United 777-200ER coming in from Washington, Flight 667. So depending on what lands first or what takes off first, we'll see what we see. I like that United still is flying some of their 777-200ERs. You don't see very many of those anymore. They're really cool aircraft. It's like Hawaiian on their A330-200, Flight 89 headed to Honolulu is on the takeoff roll. I'm going to follow that one. And right after that, we'll catch the United 777-200 coming in from Washington. It's a nice early rotation there for Hawaii. Just in time here for that United 777-200 landing, coming in nice and hot. Very cool. And coming up on the north side, we have WestJet. WestJet from Vancouver on a 737-800. haven't gotten too many north side approaches, so I want to change it up a little bit. Looks like downwind we have ANA Flight 6 on a 787-9 Dreamliner. That should be landing in the next 6 to 7 minutes up on the north side here. And coming up over there in just a second, we'll have Delta Flight 482 coming in from JFK on a 767-300ER. Very nice plane. So we have the United Flight 745. United Flight 745 headed to Chicago on a 757-300. There's another one of the JetBlue new liveries. There's one also on the move over there. And we just had Delta Flight 739 on a 737-900ER coming in from Miami, Florida over here. Next up on the north side, we're going to have another United 757 coming in from Boston. Like that 767 is finally on the move. looks like that United 777-200 is also finally on the move after a little bit of a wait. There's that United 757 coming in from Boston. That'll be a north side arrival. So I have to wait for it to clear this wire. Sorry, that's not United, that's a Delta plane. That's a great question. I'm not sure. I could probably Google it and figure out what the range of a 737 is. I know the ER stands for extended range, so I'm sure that means it has a much longer range than a normal 900 would. Is that 5,460 nautical miles for a 737-900 ER? Oh, kilometers. Okay, cool. Kilometers. Mikey, do you happen to know what the nautical miles range is versus the regular one? Trying to focus in on this. We do have our ANA flight coming in. Hasn't quite, there it is. Going to be ANA Flight 6 coming in from Tokyo Narita on a 787-9 Dreamliner. 2,950 nautical miles. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is ANA Flight 6 coming in from Tokyo Narita on a 787-9 Dreamliner, north side landing. And up here next on the south, we're going to have Air Canada Flight 785. That one should be coming in shortly. All the way from Toronto on a 787-9 Dreamliner. They're about 1 minute out. And this one has one of my favorite Air Canada liveries. I think it's the older one with the lighter blue, as opposed to the new black and red and white one. Those Dreamliners have such cool cool wings. The way they're flexed like that in flight, it looks like a bird flying. The white bread livery. That Air Canada plane should be coming past the cargo buildings in just a second. Blue, hello to you as well. Thanks for joining. Looks like fourth in line for departure. We're going to have a United 787-9 Dreamliner headed to Denver shortly. I just saw that one pull out. We have this nice new jet blue minted livery. That new one coming up. That Air Canada livery compared to the newer black, white, and red one. That JetBlue flight first mint livery was headed to JFK on an A320-200. That one we just saw take off a second ago. Oh yeah, I didn't notice the black line in the engine, but yeah, it kind of does look like something is wrong with it. Oh, I think that engine is just fine. Gaming Hams 22, hello and welcome. Thanks for joining us here. Here's that ANA Dreamliner that just landed a few minutes ago on the north side. And it looks like second for departure, we have United 1048 on a 787-9 Dreamliner headed to Denver, Colorado. And just in front of it, we have United 319 headed to PVR. And PVR is Puerto Vallarta. That'll be on an A320. JJ Shock, hello everyone. I guess, yeah, I think the reverser was engaged and they just hadn't taken it back all the way, so there's a gap there that looked like a black line. Yes, second for takeoff. We do have 1048 to Denver on a Dreamliner, like I was saying just a minute ago, in case you missed it. That will be just behind the flight going to Puerto Vallarta on the A320, which is getting ready for takeoff in just a minute. That's going to be United 319. It's kind of funny, it's 319 on a 320. Yeah, max departure time 321. 1920 and 21. Looks like United Airlines flight 1048 headed to Denver on a 787-9 Dreamliner is lined up and ready to go. We will be seeing that one shortly. Here it goes. Yeah, there's a lot of United Airlines traffic at this airport, a lot. So we do get a lot of back-to-back United here. Coming up on the north side, we have Japan Airlines landing from Tokyo Narita on a 787-8 Dreamliner. We do have another United landing here. We'll get in on that in a second. That's also on a Dreamliner coming in from EWR from Newark. Go from the 787-8, the smallest variant, to the 787-10, the largest variant. And we'll be seeing that the Tokyo Japan Airlines Narita Dreamliner when it comes around and comes into the gates in a few minutes. Next up for departure here on the south, we have United 1395 headed to Seattle on an A320. Gonna have another United departure here. our beautiful United 787-10 Dreamliner. Gaming Hams 22, the Emirates plane lands at about 2 p.m. here LAX time, so it'll be after we've already finished, but they land at 2 p.m. every day. That's EK215. It is in flight. This is going to be Spirit Airlines here if I can catch it. Flying to Philadelphia. Let's see if I can get high enough for this one. I believe that is China Eastern Airlines coming in from Shanghai on a 777-300 that will be making a crossing and making a U-turn over downtown LA and landing, I believe, on the south side today if they are taking that route. That should be landing in the next 5 minutes here on the south. And up next, we're going to have United Star Alliance livery flight 1331 headed to New York. EWR on a 757-200. Yeah, it's going to be a China Eastern Airlines 777-300ER coming in from Shanghai. That's the one that should be landing in about 5 minutes here. But this is flight 1331. It's the United 757 Star Alliance livery headed to Newark. Like Tom Bradley has filled up this morning. Yes, Air Tahiti Nui is inbound. I can see that one on radar. That one should be landing shortly. That'll be landing in about 5 minutes here on the south side. There's two planes in front of it. United 405 coming in from Denver, then we'll see American 1976 from Charlotte, and then we'll have our Air Tahiti plane. And then just behind that we should have our China Eastern Airlines 777 coming in from Shanghai. A lot of fun stuff to look forward to. Like Southwest is waiting for Americans across. coming up next, we have JetBlue 6100 headed to Fort Lauderdale. Departure coming up soon. That's been going north lately, but let me check on my maps. Oh, looks like EK215 is going to arrive early today in about 2.5 hours. Thank you, Jose. Should be seeing our Air Tahiti Nui plane. I think there it is out there. That one should be next up for arrival. We'll stick with that one. That's going to be on a 787-9 Dreamliner. I wish I was coming in from Tahiti this morning. I'd love to go there. It's a bucket list place for me to visit. And it does look like we are going to have a Zip Air departure. They're third in line for departure on a 787-8 Dreamliner going to Tokyo Narita. So that'll be exciting to see over here. Very nice landing there by Air Tahiti. And I think we're going to get a nice south side departure here of our Alaska Toontown livery that we saw earlier. That one we saw landing this morning about 9:30. Very nice. Air Tahiti goes to the islands like Bora Bora. It's like next up on arrival here we have a 767-300ER. But the information is telling me not applicable, so I'm not sure where this is coming from. See what that is. The mystery plane. Maybe that's a cargo plane. I believe that's Northern Air Cargo. If if I'm correct by that, by the red text and the red tail. That I'm pretty sure that's NAC. And up next for departure, we have Zip Air Flight 23 on a 787-8 Dreamliner headed to Tokyo Narita, and that'll be followed by Alaska Flight 1346 to Belize City on a 737-800 with that brand new Toontown livery, which we saw landing earlier today. I'm trying to get, there's a 747. There we go. So that's going to be the Caleta Air 747-400 flight 4931 coming in from Anchorage. We should be seeing that in the next 5 to 7 minutes. Here's a special Volaris livery that just landed. Yeah, this one came in from Oaxaca, and it's, I think, the Barbie livery. We'll see in just a second. It is the Barbie livery. A lot of fun special liveries today here at LAX. And our Zip Air flight headed to Narita on the Dreamliner is ready to go. I think they're just awaiting takeoff clearance. What do you guys think of that special Barbie livery with the Volaris plane? I think that's pretty cool. Here comes our Zip Air flight headed to Tokyo Narita on the Dreamliner. coming up next, I think we have the Alaska 737-800 headed to Belize City with the Toontown livery. And then we also have our China Eastern Airlines that we were tracking a minute ago, the 777-300ER that just landed. I'd love to go to Tokyo as well. Miss Wolf's 13, you can do whatever you'd like. You don't need permission from us. If he needs some mods, go for it. It's always good to have mods. We appreciate you joining us this morning. Super cool. Thank you. Thanks for always helping us out in the comment section and being a mod for us as well. It's always appreciated. I think Alaska Airlines is just waiting for its takeoff clearance. Sorry, Gaming Hams, I just saw your comment about what's my favorite airline. That's a good question. Give me a second to think about that one and catch this one, and I'll let you know shortly. But what's yours in the meantime? So I'm pretty sure my favorite airline domestically is Delta. I fly them pretty much everywhere. I have a lot of points and miles with them, and I like their routes and flight times. And then I think internationally, my favorite other airline would be Virgin Atlantic. That Alaska Airlines plane was super cool, and I'm so glad that we got to catch it landing this morning and taking off as well.
I'm on vacation. I don't mind coming out to see you.
So Gaming Hams 22 says Egypt Air, Royal Air Maroc, Turkish Air, and Emirates. Those are good airlines. Max prefers Singapore. Singapore's awesome. I'd love to fly on Singapore's A380 with those new first class cabins that's basically got a bigger room than my first ever studio apartment did in it. Here comes our Kalita Air that we were tracking a minute ago. That's going to be the Kalita Air 747 coming in from Anchorage on a 747-400. Let's see if they're going to turn short and go into cargo, if they're going to go a little longer for us. Let's see what these guys do this morning. Looks like they are going to be turning early into the cargo terminal. Unfortunately for us, we'll get a quick glimpse of it right here when it taxis into the cargo terminal. You know what, Chris? That's a good answer. The one you have the most miles on. So the one you can get the most free stuff with to cash in miles for tickets. I like it. Thank you, everyone. I just saw that we have 155 likes. That's awesome. We really appreciate it. We're super grateful that you all are joining us here today. Like we have a JSX flight taking off for Cabo San Lucas in just a minute, and behind that, I believe there will be a 777 departure. I'm not sure. Maybe not. No, yeah. Just behind that, we're going to have a 777-300ER American flight 2811 going to Dallas Fort Worth. Just behind this JSX plane. Looks like this China Eastern plane's a little stuck here waiting to figure out where it's gonna go. I can hear those GE90s on that 777-300ER going to Dallas Fort Worth on American. Looks like this other 777, the China Eastern, is on the move finally. Looks like they maybe found a gate for it. Yes, China is, Air China is number 2 on the south side. Coming in from Shanghai, it's going to be China Southern Cargo. They'll be coming in shortly, we'll be seeing that. That is a cargo plane, so it may or may not come by for us. We'll see in just a minute. I guess I can't catch that one. There we go. Bullet Shark, hello. Good morning. How are you? Thank you for joining us. Just flying overhead, we have a China Cargo Airlines 777F. And then we have another China Southern cargo that we are focused on here, coming in from Shanghai as well. The one that was high in the sky is coming from Shanghai. Bullet Shark, I am doing very well this morning. Happy to be here on a beautiful day here at LAX. Let's see if this one is going to stop short or going to go a little bit past us so we can get a nice view. I think this one, unfortunately, will be turning short and going to the cargo terminal. And that's it for the China Southern cargo. Unfortunately for us, they turned early. And with poor China Eastern is just stuck again. Thank you both for joining us. See you later, Bullet Shark. Animoy, thank you so much. Sorry everyone for the lull. I'm just looking at the radar box map to see what we got going on here. Like China Eastern is finally able to keep moving here. Bullet Shark, my favorite part of takeoff, I think, is rotation and watching the landing gear retract into the doors while the plane is taking off. Oh, sorry, Bullet Shark, I was confused. I guess you were saying goodbye to somebody else. My apologies for misunderstanding that. like we have a Breeze Airways Airbus A320 landing here. Bullet Shark, thank you so much for subscribing to our channel. We really appreciate it. And we're glad you are enjoying it enough to subscribe. That is super cool. Big shout out to you. Thank you. And this is Breeze Airways Flight 554 coming in from Pittsburgh on an Airbus A320. I like this livery a lot. The colors are cool. Bullet Shark, at LAX, I do these once a week on Friday mornings. And Mikey and Jacob, who are the channel owners, go Amsterdam quite a bit. They had an amazing video yesterday with a bunch of crosswind landings with the storms they had going on there. And coming up next here on the south, we're going to have a 737-800 Alaska Flight 5 coming in from Washington, and second for arrival, we're going to have the China Cargo Airlines 777 freighter that we saw crossing over the airport about 5 minutes ago. This is Alaska Flight 5 on a 737-800 coming in from Washington, D.C. And just behind it we have China Cargo Airlines Flight 221 coming in from Shanghai on a 777 freighter. Bullet Shark, I'm glad we could help quell some of your boredom by showing you all these cool planes here at LAX. Just about a minute and a half out, we have our China cargo plane coming in. That's going to be China Cargo Airlines Flight 221 coming in from Shanghai. Look at how much variety we get here at LAX in the Bradley Terminal. Latam, ANA, Latam again, Asiana, Korean, EVA, Cathay Pacific. It's pretty impressive. Cargo Airlines Flight 221 from Shanghai on a 777 freighter. Very nice. Unfortunately, that one is also going to be turning short, so we're going to get as close as we can. Very nice. Looks like we have a Delta Airbus 319, and in just a second I'll let you know where that's going. See you next week, Bullet Shark. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's like coming in on the north side, we're going to have Turkish Airways. Coming in from Istanbul. And that's going to be on a 787-9 Dreamliner. Like we had an Air Canada sneak in on us. That's going to be on a 737 MAX 8. That is, came in from Vancouver on a 737 MAX 8 Air Canada Flight 552. And it looks like second for departure here, we're going to have another United Airlines Dreamliner 7879 flight 801 headed to Hong Kong. And then another thing we don't want to miss is we do have Kalitta Air on another 747-400 headed to Honolulu. That will be all the way down there in the corner. You can kind of see it over there. We definitely want to make sure we catch that one. And I think after that, let's see if we have anything. Nope, that's going to be the last cargo one for a second. We'll catch up with that one in just a second. Looks like we have Air Premia pulling out. They've been taking off here on the south side as well. I think Air Premia Flight 102 on another Dreamliner will be headed to Seoul. Hello JD, good morning, how are you? Thanks for joining us here. You came on just in time. We're about to have a Kalitta Air 747 takeoff to Honolulu. That one might be a heavy departure because it looks like they did request 25R, which is the longer of the two runways. Yes, and United will be taking off shortly on a Dreamliner as well. Not sure which one is going to take off first, actually. It looks like they're giving priority to the Kalitta flight, and that one's going to be cutting in front of United 801. So United's Dreamliner will be going behind the Kalitta plane, followed by Air Premia. For that Kalitta Air flight. It is lined up and ready to go. I believe it's moving. It is moving. I think next up for departure is that United Airlines flight 801 to Hong Kong on the Dreamliner. Welcome back, Logical Snowflake. You made it just in time for the Kalita 747. Here comes our United Airlines Dreamliner flight going to Hong Kong, flight 801. Those are probably the prettiest wings of any aircraft. And here's our Turkish Airlines flight that we caught landing just a few minutes ago. Looks like next up for departure here we have another Dreamliner departure. It's going to be Air Premia on a 787-9 headed to Seoul. And this will be the last departure here for us today. We'll be ending our stream shortly. That was a beautiful takeoff there. Very, very nice takeoff. I just want to thank all of you for tuning in today. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, thanks. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in today. That was going to be our last departure of the day. We're going to redirect you to one of our friends at LAX here who's live streaming so you can continue to enjoy watching the planes and having fun. But thanks everyone for joining us today and tuning in and for liking the stream. Couldn't ignore that one last one before we end. Make sure to check out Mikey and Jacob at Amsterdam. They'll be back soon, and then I will be back here at LAX next Friday. And if you liked what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you all again. Thank you, Chris.